Hi guys, it's Miss Brown again. Based on the surveys that you guys submitted from our first PowerPoint lesson, I decided to create a second one to include the things that you guys said that you didn't know how to do and would like some more information on. So we're only going to touch on a couple things in this one, but it's just taking everything a step further from what we did before. So what we're going to be looking at today, these are the things we're going to be learning. The first is we're going to add animation. So I mentioned that in the first video, but I'm actually going to show you how to animate words and images. I'm also going to show you how to do slide transition animation. We're going to insert a website link and record our voice. Now for recording the voice, I'm not going to be able to actually show you that because I'm recording a video and you can't do both at one time. But these are the four things that we're going to be hitting on in this lesson today. So if you have not already done so, please open the PowerPoint presentation template that I included in this activity. So when you logged into Schoology, you would see this video, but then you also see the template. So go ahead and open up the template and it'll look exactly like what you're looking at right now. So if you have not done so, go ahead and do that now. All right, so the first thing you're going to do is add an animation to an image. Now on this slide is where you're going to do it. You don't need to take anything away. We're just going to add to this slide. So the way we're going to do that, I'm going to close out of here, is the first thing we need to do is insert a picture. So from the previous video, you already learned how to do this. We go to Insert, Online Pictures, and then search whatever you want to put a video or put the image of. So I'm going to do pizza because that's what I did last time. So I'm going to search pizza. And then hopefully it will come up. And then I'm going to select my image and insert it. Now again, it's really large, so I'm going to scale it down. So again, to do this, hold the Shift button. That'll keep your proportions the same. And just drag it down to the size you want. And then I'm going to put it back in. All right. So now I resized it to fit on the screen. Now I'm going to animate it. So what animations do are so that when you click the mouse, that'll make it appear. So when you first project the screen, it won't appear. And then if you click the mouse, then it'll show up. So I'm going to select the image that I want to add an animation to. So I clicked on my image and I'm going to go up here at the top to animations. So animations is right here. I'm going to click on that. And these are all of the different options. So there's so many here. This first one, appear, just does that. It just makes the image appear after you click the spacebar. All of these other ones are all different ones. And when you click on it, it'll show you what it looks like. It does a little preview. So the split one, when I clicked on it, it shows you what it does. Now again, keep in mind that doing too many animations gets very distracting and it wastes a lot of time. So just limit how often you use these two techniques. So the one I'm just going to use is this fade. So I selected fade, and that little one, it shows you the order in which the animation is. So if I had 5 different pictures that I wanted to come up, it would say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and that would be the order in which they show up as you click the mouse. So this one shows up here, and I have an animation. So if you notice step 4, it says to preview the animation, go to slideshow and select from current slide. So I'm going to go up here to the slideshow, and I'm pretty sure most of you know from the beginning. That projects your PowerPoint from the very beginning, but we don't need to go through all that. So we're just going to select from the current slide. So if you click that, notice that the pizza isn't there, but if I click on my mouse or the spacebar, whichever one, the picture will then appear based on whatever animation you did. So again, it just faded in, wasn't anything too fancy, quick, done, not flashy, not over obnoxious. So it's not a bad idea. So I'm going to hit escape, and escape gets me back out of the slideshow so we can go on to the next step. Now, one thing I did forget to add was to save. Remember, we always need to be saving our progress multiple times throughout. So before I go on any further, I'm going to go ahead up to File and go to Save As, and I'm going to hit Browse. Now I'm going to change it to save it to my desktop, and I'm just going to call this Presentation 2, and then hit save. So now it's saved to my desktop. And again, remember to hit save throughout. All right, so you have the template open. You should have added a clip art, just to reiterate how to do that. Changed your size image and added an animation to that image only. Our next one is we're going to create a shape. So now there's clip art, and everyone kind of has a different idea of what clip art is. To me, it's just adding images, and it's the images that are already on there. Along with that, there's also different shapes that you can add. So our next one we're going to do is add a shape. So at the top, go to insert, and these are all of your different options to insert. There's a lot of different things. A lot of you asked to do 3D models. Now that I am not familiar with, so I cannot help you with that. If you want to come down to my room and play around with that, I'd be happy to show you, but I don't really know how to use it, so I can't really help. But this time we're going to insert a shape. So we went to insert, shape, and I want to insert an arrow that's going to point at the text where it says point at text here. So these block arrows down here are all different arrow shapes that we have. You also have just basic lines in this section, but I want to add a block arrow. So now I'm just going to insert a block arrow. I clicked any of them, and you click and drag just like you did a text box. So click and drag, and that creates your shape. So now it's not pointing at the text like I want it to. So if you notice, it has this little spin icon here. So that spin icon allows you to turn it, and then you can move it as you need to and resize it as you need to. So we can spin it using that spin arrow and then resize it. So I'm going to spin it so that it points at the text. So we inserted the arrow, we clicked the arrow we want. You can also change your color and shape and fill and everything with these options up here. The fill is what color the fill of the arrow is, and the outline is the outline. So you can change those up there if you want, but I'm not going to do that. All right, and now I'm going to do animation again. So I'm going to have, if you don't have it already, go ahead and click on your arrow, and I'm going to go to animation and add which one. This time I'm going to do fly in. So all of a sudden it just flies in. And again, if you want to, you can go to slideshow and preview it from this point. Notice the arrow isn't there. I click on it, and now the arrow is there. So that is our next one. Again, escape gets you out of it. So we created a shape this time, which there's smiley faces, there's all different kinds of shapes are there. And you can also make them text boxes. So if you add those shapes, you can then type inside of them and they're text boxes. So that's another option too that you can play around with on your own time. All right, our next slide is a transition animation. So now a transition animation is when you go slide to slide, what does it look like? So instead of just flipping right to the next one, there's a lot of different animations you can do. So this time, instead of going to animation, we're going to go to transition. So at the top, you will see transition right here, and you're going to click on transition, and this shows you all of the different ones that there are. So it should automatically start with none, but these are all the different ones. And if you click on this double drop down arrow, it shows you all of the different options, and there's a lot of them. So if you click on, I'm going to pick push. So when I pick push, see how it does that slide. So again, it previews what you want to do. So if whichever one you want from transition, that shows you, that's your transition from slide to slide. Another option over here is this apply to all. Apply to all allows you to make that transition occur on all of them. Again, transitions can be very distracting and time consuming, so keep that to a minimum or make sure you're picking a short one. There's no sound. You can also add a sound effect to it depending on which one you pick. And the duration is how long that change takes. So right now it's taking 1 second, which isn't that bad. One mouse click is the one that you want it to be. That's so that when you click it, or this after is if you want to time it. Now I don't want to time mine, so I don't want that click. But if you wanted a presentation and you knew you only had 30 seconds to talk on that slide, you can click that and set it to be the 30 seconds and it'll automatically change when that 30 seconds is up to the next slide. But more times than not, you're going to want it on mouse click so that you can control when it changes. So animation, transition, animation, you went to transition and you select one. Apply all if you want it to happen to all of them. And again, you can preview it to see what it looks like. All right, so now that you have created your animations and done animations with images and with slides, next we're going to insert a website. A lot of you asked about doing this, and it's actually really easy. It's just copy and paste the link. So what you want to do is open a website, whatever you want. I already have BCPS1 open, so that's going to be what I'm inserting. So I have my BCPS open, BCPS1. And if you click on the website itself, it will by clicking up here, automatically highlights. You want to make sure the whole thing is highlighted. And I'm going to hit Control C. If you remember from the first video, Control C stands for copy. You can also right click and drop down to copy, but Control C is a lot quicker. So Control C, and then I'm going to come back to my PowerPoint. I'm going to click on the slide just so that nothing else is selected, and I'm going to hit Control V. Control V pastes it. Now before you click anything, if you hit the space bar to add a space, it automatically hyperlinks it. So if you notice, it turned blue and underlined. That is a good thing because that is hyperlinked. So I'm going to move it away, and that is there. So now we have our website included, and it is automatically hyperlinked. What that hyperlink does is so that when you are in your PowerPoint, I can click on my link here, and if you notice, it's the finger because it actually allows me to click on it. It opens it, and we're good to go there. So that is how to add a link. It's very easy. You just copy and paste it, hit spacebar, and it automatically hyperlinks. All right, and the last thing that people asked me to do was how to record your voice. Now, this is something I'm not going to be able to do right now because I'm filming this video, but once you guys are done the lesson and your class is closed out of it, you can go ahead and play around with this. But to do this, you go to slideshow, and then you will see this record slideshow option. And from the drop down, you can record from the current slide, which allows you to put a video just on this slide, or record from the beginning. When you record from the beginning, it'll record something on every slide. So as you change to the next slide, it'll kind of start a new video, but it'll just record that chunk for that slide, whatever it's on. So these are your two options. Once you click on them, a screen will change, and it'll have your PowerPoint in the middle, and then in the top left corner, it'll have the record options. So that is where you can record, stop, and pause. And just like this video is right now, it'll automatically put a little tiny video of yourself of whatever you're doing and saying. So that is how you record your voice on the slides, and we talked about animations and inserting a website. So I hope we don't have any questions left over. If you do, please feel free to come see me in room 105. I'd be happy to show you any more tricks that I can help you with. And if not, go ahead and save your presentation wherever you saved it to and upload it for your teacher. Otherwise, thank you guys and have a great day.